historians, welcome back. It is the spring bee term. That means that summer is just around the corner and we need to get through this term. But fear not, we have got a really exciting topic for you, and we are going to be talking about the Great Fire of London. Now, before we delve into the ins and outs of the actual event, we need to find out which sorts of artifacts are from the Great Fire of London. So the learning objective for this week is to understand that artifacts hold information about time and an event. So this is session 1. So first of all, have a look at this image in front of you. What a magnificent old trunk we have got here. What do you notice? What do you wonder? Have a little chat with your grown-up or whoever is there working with you. Show them the picture and have a chat together. What sort of things do you notice about this trunk? What could be inside it? Have a little think. Now's a good time to pause the video and then come back to it after you've managed to have a little chat. Well done. I'm hoping that you have understood that this is a very, very old trunk. And in particular, this trunk is from the 17th century. All right? I wonder whose it belonged to. Let's find out what could be inside. Now is another time to have a little thinking chair. What sort of artifacts could be in this trunk? Are they old? Are they going to be old? And how old are they going to be? How do we know that something is old? What is the purpose of all the artifacts inside the trunk? And I wonder if they would look similar to the modern day things. Another time to pause the video and have a little think. Good job, guys. Good sharing. So, when you have the pictures in front of you that we've added to the blended learning, because obviously not everybody has got a trunk with Great Fire of London artifacts in them at home, so I have added pictures of historic artifacts, and they're mixed up with modern day things, Great Fire of things, and all the other sorts of history related things. So have a look at it. Decide if the item on the image is an artifact or is it a modern image, and then think about what gives it away. Write your thoughts on post-it notes all around the images. So you might want to cut the images out all together and then lay them out on the table, and then you can put the post-it notes all around it. And you could then sort the images into Great Fire of London images and then all the other historic artifact images. And then your extension would be if you could order those non-fire related images into older and newer ones. So first of all, let's have a look at the pictures together. There we go. So this is the images that you have got for your blended learning. Now straight away, I'm just looking at it and I can see some familiar faces. So I'm going to highlight some of them that I can see and recognize straight away. There we go. There's our lovely queen. I wonder if she's an artifact. And how old is she? Is she a modern day monarch or is she from the olden days? Let's see. Oh, my buddy Archie Jewell. Look at that. We had Archie Jewell visiting us when we were learning about a certain topic. So have a look. So does Archie Jewell belong to the Great Fire of London, or is he from a different era? What else can we spot here? There is a pen, the sort of pen I would use at school to mark your work. I wonder if that sort of pen is a modern day artifact or does it belong to an olden day? I can see that there is another one that looks to me is an old-fashioned quill. So, are they similar? Do they have the similar purpose? Do the quill and the pen serve the same purpose? I wonder who was using a quill and who would be using a pen. I can also spot straight away, there's some bones here. So that means that must be very, very old artifact. And indeed, that might be perhaps from the prehistoric times when the dinosaurs were still alive. I don't know. I can spot some binoculars. I can see different versions of fire engines. How interesting to see how they changed. And the fireman here. And there is another fireman's hat here. Look how different they are from this one to this one. I don't know how have they changed and evolved over time, and I wonder why have they changed? Why are we not wearing this sort of a fireman's hat anymore? And the fire people nowadays have got all sorts of different equipment to help them put the fires out. What about these people here on this picture who are also firemen? Look, the car is completely different to this one over here. And what about on this image here down below? See if I extend this one so you can see a little better. Look at that. There is no safety equipment on these people whatsoever, and they're using ladders to get to the houses, and they're burning fires, they're pulling with sticks. I wonder why that is. And here we have got our famous writer that we are using lots when we're learning about the Great Fire of London. And finally, the most modern picture of all is this one. I wonder what this one is. If I just highlight that with a different color, if I do it with a blue, I wonder what this picture is all about. Have a little think with your grown-up and see what you come up with. And as I said, just order them onto the piles of Great Fire of London pictures and artifacts that have got nothing to do with the Great Fire of London but are still history related. And you can then line them up into a rough timeline of older to newer. I can't wait to see what you come up with and what your reasoning behind it is. And then finally, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify a range of historical artifacts. You should be able to describe the similarities and differences between the different artifacts, and you should be able to sort them out, at least into the piles of Great Fire of London and modern day or more modern day or even older things that are artifacts that are not anything to do with the Great Fire of London. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Have lots of fun investigating and finding the information about the artifacts, because artifacts really are a key to time and